What's going on, everyone? Kami here, and today we're going to be doing a Q&A video. What's Q&A? It's questions and answers. You give questions, I give the answers. If you're curious how to give these questions, you can go into my Discord. Link is down in the description below, and you can find a channel labeled as, I think, like Q&A for Kami or something. I'll let people know down in the announcements for the Discord a few days prior to me doing a video like this, and you can feel free to flood me with as many questions as you can, and I'll try to answer all of them. But let's jump into the questions. First question comes from Avery. Do you think you'll do another Sherlock movie? Really love the last two. Oh, Avery. Avery always comes into my stream and says I look like RDJ, a young RDJ. Highest of compliments I could ever receive. Much love to Avery. Always makes my day. As for the answer, if I'll do another Sherlock movie, I've been pretty busy maintaining my YouTube channel and streaming, but if they ask me, I'll highly consider it, and if I decide to do it, you'll be the first one to know. Mason asks, what do you do outside of YouTube and gaming? Oh man, I don't know if people are expecting a really cool answer like I go hang gliding or skydiving or something really exhilarating and fun. You're gonna be sadly disappointed. I don't. I watch TV shows with my fiance a lot. We're watching Lemony Snickets. Is it Lemon Snickers? I don't know. And unfortunate events. That's incredibly good. But other than that, gaming, in my free time, I don't have a lot of free time, mainly spent by editing or trying to figure out new content to come up with. Every Saturday though, I try to go over to my friend's place. We play some Smash, we play some board games like Settlers of Catan or Arkham Horror, Arkham Asylum. No, that's Batman. You know, just fun, nerdy stuff, chill and relax. It's always good to get out of the house, especially if you work at home like I do and I barely see the sunlight. It keeps me sane. The Solo Queen asks, what's your PC build with details? So demanding. If you actually head over to my Twitch, you can see my details on the specs info panel. You gotta scroll down or go to the info panel if you're on the phone or whatever. But I've got an Intel Core i7 7700K CPU, 4.2 gigahertz. I'm just gonna read it off here. 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, a GeForce 1080, and a 500 gigabyte SSD, which I put like, you know, Paladins and other games that I like to play, along with my Windows operating system. And then my secondary hard drive is a 2 terabyte hard drive, and that is a baller storage for unedited videos. Seems good. NetRelief asks, if I had 3 wishes, what would they be? I've got it. Every time I sneeze, $1,000 appears in front of me. I'd like a lifetime supply of pepper and a lifetime supply of tissues. Those would be my 3 wishes. Kawaii Seed asks, did I pronounce that name right? How was your content creation journey? How did you start up? And how have you gained experience about streaming and making videos? My content creation journey started October 2015. It's like 3 years ago, it feels like forever. I mean, 3 years is kind of long, right? Started playing Rivals of Aether, had a pretty small following, and then switched over to Paladins and slowly built playing that game like 8 to 10 hours a day. And here we are now, right? So that's how I started up. But how have I gained experience from streaming and making videos? Whew, I've gained so much experience from mistakes that I've made. I could go on for hours just randomly thinking of another one. But my main tip is to start slow, start part-time. The first year that I streamed, I did part-time, and then I switched over to full-time once I had enough money saved up for my main job to where I thought I could make it. And I barely did, by the way. That was a super stressful moment. But streaming and making videos, for streaming, always be talking to yourself. Always try to engage with your fans or chat if they're there. Ignore the haters. Just ignore the haters. Always. Do not talk to them. And for making videos, I mean, the experience has helped out a lot just doing it. Now I can do it faster, but always try to make sure that your audio levels are good. Always make sure that your content quality is solid. 720p plus is good at 60 FPS, and do good cuts. Or if you just don't want to edit it at all, then don't worry about that and just make sure the rest of the stuff is good. Fartmaster 9000, great name by the way, asks, what goes in dry and comes out wet? Don't think dirty. You can't ask me not to think dirty. That's impossible. But as for the question, what goes in dry and comes out wet? Anything before you dunk it underwater? Infinity asks, if you had one superpower, which one would it be? And why would it be that one? There's another question, but we'll get to that in a second. One superpower. You know, whenever I think about superpowers, you know, there's the obvious invisibility, being able to fly, super strength. I try to be more reasonable. It's a weird way to think. It's like, I want to have a superpower, but I want it to be like reasonable, right? So here's my superpower. Never needing to sleep. I'm sure a lot of people will probably want this, but never needing to sleep, you would gain at least 6 hours of your day, probably more with you getting up and whatnot and doing all your morning routines. It would give me so much time to be able to create more content for you guys out there, and it would just make me happier. And the second question is, do you constantly live in fear that at one point Brandy is going to wise up and realize she can do better than you? Oof, I think she's already aware that she can do better than me, but her laziness trumps that, and that's why I love her. Janice Game 77 asks, if you had to quit Twitch and YouTube, what would you do for a living? I would probably try to do something with my degree. I have an associate's degree in computer networking, So I'd probably have to start off something simple like data entry, some boring stuff, and then try to progress through the business. But I'd like to be able to do computer networking, just simple tech stuff, like going around businesses and be like, yo, is your computer not working? Have you turned it off and turned it back on? No, you should try. Oh, it works? All right, have a good day. And like mandatory, I have to wear a Hawaiian shirt because I want to be that cool, chill guy. I'd also require a minimum of 90 days of vacation, and I'm sure the employer will recognize my confidence and my stature and give it to me. I totally understand real life. Oppo asks, where do you hope to see yourself / the stream within the next year? Honestly, I hope to be alive. That's usually a good start. I aim low sometimes, but I'm aiming high for the stream / my YouTube channel. I'm looking to branch out, right? I'm looking to become more of a variety streamer, a variety gamer, and just have people watch me because they're like, hey, this guy's kind of funny. If I had to set an actual goal, it'd be really nice by the end of the year to hit 100,000 subs. That'd be fantastic. And I'd hope to grow the community a little bit bigger than it is right now. They like to watch me play multiple games instead of just paladins. B Jeffrey 1312 says, I just wanted to say that I love you. XOXO. Not a question, but I love you too, Jeffrey. Kinky question, do you love me? I love you too, Kinky. I love both you and Jeffrey. Next question comes in from Danku-sama. Hey, Kami, just wanted to say you're awesome and very funny. Again, not a question, but I appreciate the compliment. Your videos make me laugh and you bring a positive vibe to gaming, which is really advantageous. I'd hope so. And thank you again. Anyways, I want to say thank you and stay the Kami you are. I will. Oh yeah, also, when did you first meet Brandy? And Menu49 Spectre also asked, this might seem a bit too personal, but how did you and Brandy first meet? So about the same question, figured I'd show them both on the screen at the same time. One is when, one is how. So when was about, 8 years ago? Brandy, when did we meet? Well, we've been going strong for 8 years, and so I'd probably say about 8 years ago. I would venture to guess early or late January, early February of 2010. And how did we meet? I used to work at a LAN center called Talk City. It was fantastic. My uncle actually ran it and hired me, which was a mistake on his part because I just played video games the whole time. I was a terrible teenager, terrible. But after working there for a couple years, my friends started to come around to play video games with me. And one of my friends had a girlfriend, and that girlfriend had a friend, and they thought that we would be a perfect fit. So they invited Brandy over, and we played Call of Duty 4 a bunch on the LAN. I remember one of my other friends would just run around knifing everyone, and me and Brandy would just go hide and just scream at the top of our lungs from this madman running around with his knife. And we found this specific dumpster. I don't remember what map it was, and we used to have dumpster meetings. They were fantastic dumpster meetings. Sometimes we like to recall back at the good times of the dumpster meetings. Honestly, gaming is where we first started, and the reason that you don't see Brandy playing that many games is she was doing that just so she could meet me. She loved me so much, she forced herself to game. She doesn't hate gaming, but not a huge fan of it, and I respect that. But I was so lucky for my friend to introduce us. I love her so damn much, and she's one of my biggest supporter, if not the biggest supporter for me, and I don't know what I'd do without her. Love you, babe. Maybe Smurf asks, do you know the way? I've actually been searching for the way for a damn long time, and although the meme has been dead for almost a year, at least it feels like a year, I still never found it. If anybody has any info on where I could find the way, you can contact me at 1-800. This isn't a real number. Thank you. Revos asks, everyone asking some questions about either games or streaming / YouTube, but nobody's asking, how do you feel, Kami? I feel good. I feel real good. Making a Q&A video for you guys, and my AC is fixed. I don't know if you knew, but my AC was broken for a while. Whatever. I'm feeling good. Thank you, Revos. I hope you're doing well too. Master D asks, how's life? Life is good. And also Revos, calling people out. There apparently are other people that want to know how I'm doing. Touché, sir. But to Master D, I hope you're doing well too. Raylon TV asks, hey Kami, what's your social security number? Merc asks, Rastor montage. When? Rastor is actually a character in Rivals of Aether. Like I said earlier, it was the first game that I started to stream. Merc is one of the few people that is in my sub chat. By the way, I have a sub chat in Discord. I mentioned Discord earlier, being able to do Q&A. If you are a sub to me on Twitch or you're a patron, make sure you get into my Discord and go into sub chat. I am super active on there. I'm talking to them every single day. So if you want to know what it's like in the real life of Kami, and you can even give me suggestions, I always ask them, like, what do you think of this prior to me uploading a video? What would you change? And it can make a pretty big impact. But anyway, Merc is one of the few subs in sub chat that I know that are like platform fighters like I do. And he loves Rivals of Aether. Rivals of Aether is a fantastic game. It's very similar to Super Smash Melee, but it's got a lot of unique elements along with it, so people don't just run off calling it a clone. But I made a montage a while ago. It was the Up B Fever, If you haven't seen it and you like platform fighters, definitely check out Kami and Rastor. Just search up Kami Rastor, and I should be able to find it. As for when another Rastor montage is going to be coming out, I want to say somewhere in the future, but I haven't played Rivals of Aether in a while, and the fact that there's so many characters now that you have to buy, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past me, though, to get a random urge to start playing the crap out of Rivals of Aether again, and you better believe I'm going back to my Birdman. Lily asks, do you think they'll ever make a third sniper in the game? And did you ever watch anime? Well, one, do I think they're ever going to add a third sniper in the game? Snipers are hard to make unique, I guess. Like you think of Overwatch, you just think of Widowmaker, and Ana is like a sniper support. But for Paladins, we have like a Maldamba as a sniper support since he has hit scan. He can't scope, but still it's hit scan heals. And then you have Kinessa and Strix. I think it would be hard and they would have to make a unique element about the sniper. I was thinking about this for a little bit. The only thing I could think of is maybe like a railgun type of sniper, but that's pretty much just Strix. I don't know. Honestly, no, I probably don't think that they will. And did you ever watch anime? I did, and I do. I just caught up with Hero Academia, and I'm looking for a new one, so if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. Tatami, probably mispronounced your name like always. What's your favorite anime? Well, I've watched a lot of animes in the past. I've watched Naruto Shippuden, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Kai, Dragon Ball, what's the new one? I feel terrible. Oh, Dragon Ball Super, duh. But I'd have to say one of my favorites, and maybe it's just a nostalgia feeling, but I used to watch it back on Toonami on Cartoon Network. It was called Fooly Cooly. It only had like 3 or 4 episodes. It was just so weird, goofy, and unique to me that I think I'm gonna have to put it as the top anime I've ever seen. Fooly Cooly. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Ace Vongula asks, who is your favorite mod and why is it me, Kappa? I love all my mods equally. Don't make me choose, Vongula. You're better than that. And also, do you think you'll ever bring back tourneys of some sort? I miss shoutcasting with you, tourneys of any kind. So if anybody didn't know, Ace Vongula was one of my co-casters when I did Paladin tournaments, and we just kind of shoutcasted and screaming random things and talking about spaghetti monsters in the sky. It got weird sometimes, but I had a lot of fun doing it. As for if I ever will bring back tourneys, probably nothing of that sort. I currently do host sub-Saturdays, and every month, one of the Saturdays, usually the first Saturday of the month, I host a tournament. If you win the tournament, we usually try to get you some keys. I have a bunch of CD keys of random games that I can allow you to choose from. First place, second place, and third place usually get a prize. And the first place not only gets a game, but they also get the title on the Discord, I'm Better Than Kami. And I can't think of any other better prize than that. And I normally participate in these tournaments, at least towards the end, because you gotta beat me to be better than me. But you better believe, Vongula, if I do plan on shoutcasting anything and I need a co-host, I'll hit you up. Perfectionist asks, how did you come up with your name? I used to use the name Kamikaze, and I shortened it down to Kami because my friends were like, your name is too long. Describe your life with and without Brandy. With Brandy, I'm with her all the time. We live together. I usually record, edit, and stream while she's at work. She usually works a daytime shift. And when she comes home, I immediately hop off, we cook food together, and we watch TV shows together. And then we do personal things you don't need to know about. And have I ever met Z1 in real life? I have, actually. I used to play on a team with him on Eager, and he was one of my favorite people to hang out with from the Eager team. We actually shared a room together. Had a lot of long nights just sitting there talking in the dark, cracking each other up. I miss that. Love you, Z. Derpatog asks, if you could instantly become a successful content creator for only one game, what would it be and why? Oof, that's rough. I mean, as I said earlier, I want to become more of a variety streamer, but I'm gonna cheat here and I'm gonna say Fortnite. Oh, Kami, why Fortnite? Well, I don't actually like playing Fortnite that much. I don't like battle royales in general. Although the new Call of Duty Blackout felt really good and smooth, one of the smoothest battle royale games I've played in a while. But I'm getting sidetracked. The reason I would want Fortnite is because if I was successful in Fortnite, I'd be very, very big. And if I could become very big, that'll allow me to swap to more of a variety streamer / content creator. And I'd finally be able to do what I really want to do, make people laugh, and they don't really care what game I'm playing. Mama Kangaskhan Lat asks, what champions do you feel are lacking in the meta right now and why? It can be a simple reasoning, I understand you're busy. And just for fun, how was your childhood? So what champions do I feel that are lacking in the meta right now? I would say that Skye is obviously lacking. Her stealth mechanics aren't that great. She can be seen through it. Illuminate completely shuts her down. She's squishy. She has high amounts of burst DPS, but her mobility of being stealth is just such a hard skill to balance in a game, any game out there. And where stealth champions or characters in general are really good when people start off because people don't know how to play around them. And then once you start to get up at higher levels of skill, they become trash. That's life. Grok, also not feeling him too much. His healing totem, although you can place it farther away, it's not big enough. You're usually healing the tank and not you. No way to heal yourself. Maeve, also with the nerfs that she's gotten, maybe isn't that good, but maybe I've seen her in PPL a couple times. Not sure. Honestly, I haven't been paying too much attention to the current meta, but I always think Skye's a safe pick. And how was my childhood? My childhood was actually really good. Started off living in Iowa. We were dirt poor. But we've recently revisited where I used to live, and that place was just, oh, it was rough. But yeah, other than that, my uncle was a big part of my life. He was huge into video games. He used to take me to arcades downtown. I remember one specific time where they had like these mech warrior machines hooked up, and you got into your own little mech, like a sit-in type of arcade, and you dueled, and everyone was linked and stuff. It was so cool. But he got me into technology, and he got me into gaming. And without him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd probably be out, I don't know, social media tweeting or something. What do kids do now these days? Beanie TV asks, are there any other guys you kind of like on Gokbox? Nope, just like myself. Sorry, I'm a terrible person. Deal with it. Chopstician asks, how much does Gokbox pay you? Thinking face. I'm sure everybody has noticed that Gokbox has kind of disappeared from my intro and a lot of people miss it. Well, intros are there for a reason. They want to bring attention to ways that you can support your streamer or content creator in general, and Gokbox was not paying me that much. I would think I was maybe making anywhere between $3 to $5 a month through all the donations. And while I most appreciate everybody doing everything that they can, it really wasn't that much. So that's why you've seen it disappear, and I'm working on a brand new intro, outro, logo, everything. And I'm hoping to release it here very soon, hopefully within a month. Don't Read This asks, who do you think are the best champions in each category and why? For tank, I would say Makoa. The hooks are incredibly good, displace, plus being able to go from 1 life to 10,000 life with Leviathan, and being CC immune. Come on, bro. I'm sure a lot of people would argue that Khan's probably the best tank, but I still think Makoa's too damn good. As for support, Furia, her damage output when she has her healing gauge even like half full is insane. She has fast movement with her F ability, and she has a way to stun flankers with her beam. And the beam can just insta-heal people when they're using the Solar Blessing talent. For damage, I would say Cassie, just because I love Cassie. I think her burst potential is insane. She also has good mobility. She has a loadout card that gives her free cauterize level like 2.5 by round 1 if you're going impulse, or just grabbing it for your blast shot. And her mobility with exaction and incitement, exaction giving the damage and incitement giving the mobility, is insane. As for the flank, I don't really know. I think I would go with Androxus. I've seen a lot of Androxus lately just running through and punching everything in their sight and killing them. He's a little bit harder to make work than a lot of other champions in the game, but if you have good aim and you have good map awareness, he can just wreck. Sharp asks, if Paladin dies or loses popularity, what other games would you make content for? It's a good question, Sharp. Like I said before, I want to move to more of a variety gamer, but I'm probably going to need to look to another game to start growing a community there. And then once I grow there, maybe switch to another game, grow a community, and then I'll slowly become a variety streamer. As for what game I would make content for, I think Rainbow Six Siege is a very good game to switch over to. I think it's 3rd on the Steam charts. It's big, but not so massive compared to like CS or League of Legends. It's still very big though. That's the reason the Paladins did so well for me, was it was kind of big, but not that big. So while I would get like 200 viewers would be maybe in the top 10 for the big streamers, maybe not even in the top 10, but Paladins, I'd be way up on the top, so it gave me a lot of growth. Another game that I'm interested in is Call of Duty. Like I said, I played the Blackout Battle Royale game, and while I'm not a big fan of Battle Royales, it felt so smooth, and I'm super excited to play the actual game when it comes out here in about a month or so. Couple questions coming in. They're similar. There's actually 3 questions in here, but we'll try to take them really quickly one at a time. Far asks, Kami, voice pack when? And also Golden Girl asks, Kami, voice pack when? And what's your favorite game besides Paladin? So to the question about the voice pack, we did do a great job at racking up as many votes as we could. I sent an email to Hi-Rez asking, you know, this is how many people are interested in doing it. People are wanting it. I will record voice lines, tell me what you need. And they were like, we're not really looking for a voice pack right now. And I don't really know how to put this lightly, but I was pooping on the game a lot. Like I was just being mean to the game. And it was because I was frustrated. I was frustrated at the bugs, and I was frustrating at the balances, and frustrating that Pyras didn't seem like they were really caring about it. But they do care. They do care, and they're trying to do their best, and it's hard to manage between balancing the top tier and the bottom tier and the middle tier. There's just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I don't understand. Plus, they've hired a bunch of new people recently. So every patch that comes out that just has new bugs, and you're like, why Hi-Rez? Why? Well, that's because there's brand new people coming into this coding, and they have no idea what they're doing. Well, they have every idea of what they're doing. That's why they got hired for the job. But they don't know how this specific game is coded, so they're learning. So if you change one thing in the middle, that could cause a chain reaction, and then you just can't type in chat for a while, and you're like, why? I don't know. But as the game progresses, hopefully the new developers will stay, they'll learn, and they'll make it so these patches are much cleaner and the cleanups come very quickly. But as for the voice pack, probably not gonna be happening anytime soon. I'm trying to get a better outlook on the game. And apparently they mainly give out the voice packs for charity events. So if there's a charity event coming up anytime soon, I will jump on it and hopefully get a voice pack. And what is my favorite game besides Paladins? That's hard to say. Like right now, I really enjoy playing Slap City. That's a game like Melee. Smash Melee. Smash 4 I've been playing a little bit of. That's a few platform fighters. Rainbow Six Siege is a lot of fun, a lot of things to learn. Again, I'm excited for Call of Duty 4. But as for one of the previous games that I played in the past, CS 1.6 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. So I would say CS 1.6 is my favorite game besides Paladins. And Phoenix Spider, the last question that kind of has the voice pack question in there, but a lot of other ones, is are you thinking of making more montage videos like in the past? I assume he means like in the past, or she. Yeah, I made a montage video of icons where I racked up a bunch of clips. For Paladins specifically, yeah, I try to rack up as many as I do, but I kind of just get on and goof around and play champions that my chat suggests me to play. And I'm not really always trying to frag out, and montages are normally fragging out montages. I could do silly montages mainly, but I gotta get more clips. People gotta clip my stream, man. If I'm streaming and something funny happens, clip it, go into my Discord and post it in the Kami Twitch clips. If I see a bunch of them posted in there, I'll grab them all up and make a montage video for YouTube. But I'm always recording cool plays that I make, and if I rack up enough, yeah, I'll do a montage. What do you think of the Androxus and Lex weapons reworks? Do you think they need to be reverted? I like the slower shots. I think they should, but they probably won't. It doesn't really go with the whole flank mentality. It makes them more damage. And do you have any plans on ever streaming on YouTube, maybe like once a month or something like that? I know you partnered with Twitch, but still, do we YouTube fellows have any hope? I can stream on YouTube. I just can't stream after I can't stream at the same time, and I think there's some sort of wait time I have to do. I'd have to look through my contract. It's a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. From what I understand, YouTube people mainly just care about watching videos at their own time. If you want to watch me live, my stream schedule is always in the description. I don't know if maybe Twitch is banned in your country or wherever you live, or you just have this random hate for Twitch. I hope that you don't. It's actually a pretty cool place. But you can always feel free to just drop over on Twitch and say, hey, it's free to make an account. So as of now, probably not, but in the future, who knows? I've been debating switching completely to YouTube, but spreading myself over multiple networks and different companies is make it so I'm a little bit more reliably safe, if you know what I mean. Another double question coming in from Thief and Asriel. Do you play other games? Asks Thief, and Asriel asks, what else do you play aside from Paladins? Pretty much the same question, right? Yes, I do play other games. I am playing Rainbow Six Siege a lot, like I said earlier. Rivals of Aether, other platform fighters. I'm also playing Witcher 3 recently. So if you haven't seen me on stream playing Witcher 3, I have a lot of fun playing single player games because I get to screw around and make random jokes all day, every day. And I don't have to worry about people fragging on me. Well, except for the monsters and stuff, but whatever. Jakes26 asks, what's your favorite Pokemans? My favorite Pokemans? It's Mudkips, obviously. Real talk though, I've always been a big fan of Arcanine. Back when I collected the trading card games, he always just seemed really good. But if I had to say my favorite of all time, it would probably have to be Gengar. That dude is goofy as hell. I actually have a mouse mat. I used to, and then my cat spilled milk all over it. That was my fault. I placed a cup of liquid on top of something. Cat's gotta knock it over. But it was a really sweet mouse pad. I'm gonna go with Gengar, that goofy bastard. McCuddles asks, Kami, do you accept fan mail? I'll accept like fan drawings and stuff online, anything like that. As for fan mail, I looked into opening up a PO box. Apparently it costs money, which makes 100% sense, but I don't really have the money to spend on keeping a PO box open, and I don't feel safe on releasing my address info, so I don't currently, but if I open up a PO box, I'll make sure to let everyone know as soon as I do to see what amazing fan mail I can get. Woo! Varios asks, what's your favorite color? It's like a blue, like a light blue. I also dig this red. It's like a darker red, but I'd say blue, a blue tint. Not like baby blue, but like somewhere in the middle of a dark blue and a light blue. A blue. Bellaros asks, so when are you becoming the #1 Androxus NA again? I don't know if you remember, but Dry Bear claimed that was the #1 Androxus like 2 years ago. I'll never let that go. As for the actual question, are you ever gonna upload some more of those Kami highlight videos you used to make? They were pretty hilarious. They were pretty hilarious, right? If you are not familiar with what we're talking about, you can look at my playlist and look up KamiVS highlights, and you can see games that I played in the past, whether it be, I don't know, Outlast, random games like Emily is Away, Condemned. Had a lot of fun, and I created little montage videos of funny moments in there. Will I be creating them anytime soon? Probably not, because as you probably notice when you go through the videos, they have a very low amount of view rate. And that's just, like I said earlier, if you're trying to go variety and you're known for playing a game, you're not gonna get that much love on any other game. But as we grow and we grow and we grow, I'll start trying to put out montages like that, and I'll kind of gauge how they do. But they take time. They take a lot of time. I mean, I'm sitting there playing a game for 14 hours, and I have to cut through 14 hours of game time to find all the funny parts. It's rough, but I love making them, and they're my favorite videos to do, honestly. And that's why I said in the end, I want to become a variety streamer, because they're so much fun to do. Alex Thinks asks, Kami, which is the next one tip champ? It's gonna be Eevee. It's gonna be Eevee. Probably won't be coming out for a few weeks though. Slithersnake3 asks, hey Kami, when did you first start playing Paladins? It was December of 2015, right? Yeah. What was your opinion on the game back then, and how far has the game come since then? By the way, I love your content, keep it up. Well, thank you, and I will. As for my opinion back then, it was buggy, right? It was like alpha, closed beta, like just coming out alpha, and it was rough, and it went through so many iterations of just huge changes. Like, people gripe about these small changes. They're small to me, but they're huge to other people, and I was like, man, I remember back when we used to attack siege walls, and then they changed it to capture points, and people were like, okay, let's give it a try. And I feel like if they try to change something that big right now, everyone would be like, screw this, I'm out of here. So I'm used to the change, and it was kind of exciting because there was always something new around the corner. You never knew. But as for overall, I think the game is in a better spot because it's had a lot of more time to polish, but the direction that they've taken with the higher, faster TTK, I'm not a big fan of. The game was a lot slower. Not the movement speed. The movement speed actually used to be a lot faster, and they used to have a lot more like mobility in the game. But the TTK was still a lot slower. So people didn't die in 3 hits. They died in like 6 hits. I preferred that. I preferred that so much more. I don't like getting blown up in my butt and just dying in 2 seconds. But that's what most games are doing, and Paladins recognize that, or Hi-Res recognize that, and they're going with the trend. Can't hate on them for that, and the game grew even more when they did it. So, as for the look and the whole feel and the complexity of the game, I mean, hell, when I first started playing, they didn't even have ults or items. Loadouts were a small part of it. I mean, it's come a long way, I'll say that. And the last question, another one from Jakes26. What type of man of culture are you? Boobs or booty? I mean, there's a reason why I got Kami Booty. I mean, come on. All right, that's gonna wrap up the Q&A. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'll be looking to do more of these types of videos in the future. I'm not really gonna have a schedule for it like once a month or anything, but whenever I have free time to edit it, I will ask people to submit me the questions. Remember, join my Discord. The link is down in the description below, and keep an eye out for the announcements to post your questions in the Q&A for Kami channel. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so...
I'm not gonna ask.